So I'm turning 30 this year, and it's a bit sad, I would say, almost very sad. I had dreams as a kid, lots of dreams, big dreams. I remember the first time someone asked me, "What would you like to be when you grow up?" And I was like, "I want to be a driver." And then he looked at me and he's like, "I hope you're not thinking of becoming someone else's driver. I hope you're thinking of becoming the driver of your own car." And it got me thinking, like, I hadn't thought that far ahead. As long as I was driving something, I wouldn't have cared whether it was mine or not. But that person made me feel like my dreams were not big enough. I remember also in class one, I was very excited after the first term. And I told one of the neighbors, now I only have 7 years left before I finish primary school. And then I'll be off to high school. Time is moving so fast. And then he rudely just tells me, you have not even finished the first year. And you're already counting it as done. You still have 8 years left. I was like, you're not a nice person at all. Why would you tell me that? Why are you just trying to bring me down while I'm excited? You're a hater. And he was an old man, probably 30 years older than me. He already had white hair at that time. I was angry at that. And I had other dreams. At the time, I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer. That was later on when I learned uh, about more things in this world. And I remember in high school, like our biology teacher. Ironically, it was not the physics teacher. It was the biology teacher who was really discouraging us against pursuing aeronautical engineering. So I didn't know what to think of it. He gave a lot of reasons which I will not repeat. But there was a turning point in my life. I didn't know what I wanted to be anymore. I didn't know where I wanted my life to end up anymore. I didn't have dreams anymore. Because I thought I had come up with some of the best dreams in this world, but everyone seemed to have some negative opinion about them. There is one thing, however, which or a couple things um, that I really wanted to because of my dad, especially. My dad told me all these weird stories about moon visits, like Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Yuri Gagarin, like all these people. He tell me about them. He would talk to me about world wars, First World War, Second World War. He would also talk to me about aliens and how they have visited some countries. I know those are conspiracy theories, but he was into such kind of stuff. So there's something that struck me that someone has been on the moon that I see every night. And he also talks about billionaires at that time. I knew about Bill Gates. Well, just deep in the village, I got to know about that because my father used to talk about that. I remember him bringing me a printed list of the top 10 worst living dictators in this earth. That was quite strange, but he was into strange stuff. But the one that captivated me most was Neil Armstrong and going to the moon. And later on, I've encountered Elon Musk, who is planning to go to Mars. But as far as I knew, there was nothing interesting to see in Mars or Jupiter or the rest. But there was something interesting about the moon. And I say to myself, before I die, I will surely go to the moon. And if God allows it, I was really strong believer in God. If God allows it, I will live there. I will be known as Derek from the moon to everyone on this earth. Now I'm turning 30. I have no hope of going to the moon, whether it's for 1 second or living there. There's really no hope, even for years to come. I think I have to make peace with the fact that my life will be mediocre, that my life will just be ordinary, that my life will just be normal. No tales that will be recited by the 99th generation like 2000 years from now. I will probably be forgotten 5 years after I'm dead. if I'm lucky. Like these names, like Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, Yuri Gagarin, they're going to remain just names in my head and in the heads of the people I tell the stories about. But I'm never going to participate in any of that. At some point, I wanted to follow in the footsteps of the billionaires, the Bill Gates of that time, the Elon Musk of currently. I thought at some point I would have figured out a way that would make me billions and billions of dollars and probably trillions. I wasn't putting a cap on how far I could go, but I thought big things. There was a time people were telling me to become a doctor, like Ben Carson, be a neurosurgeon and do the most dangerous operations on this earth. Go to John Hopkins. I had a classmate who was really obsessed with going to John Hopkins. I don't know whether he made it there. But there were dreams. Like the slate was so clean. There are so many paths, but the paths are becoming narrower and fewer every day. Every morning I wake up, it's a day closer to my death, a death that will not be meaningful, a death where only few people will cry, if any. Right now, I'm not even in like talking terms with my own family. I'm I'm in a kind of a rehab. It's called a halfway house right now. That's where I'm living. I don't know where my life is headed. I thought at least by the age of 30 I would have a wife and a couple kids, because my parents already had me when they were this age, and I think I was 5 or 6 years old already. I was going to nursery school. Well, here I don't even know what I want in a woman. I don't know what color of skin I want her to be. I don't know whether I want her tall or short. I don't know whether I want her fat or thin. I don't know what I want from her as a personality. I don't know whether I want a quiet one or a talkative one. I don't know whether I want one with a PhD or one who has never gone to primary school. I don't know whether I want a Christian or a pagan. I don't. I'm really confused. I don't even know how I'm going to raise children. I still feel like a child within. I feel like I know nothing. I thought I would know everything by the time I was this age. Because at the time I thought I was a child, that's why I didn't know things. And I used to listen to my father a lot, telling me all those things. I thought he knew everything. And my father was also obsessed with learning foreign languages. I don't know whether he was bluffing about them because he was lying to me a lot as a kid. But it got me very interested in languages. I wanted to learn all the languages. And I tried. I went for French. I got an F. French is hard. I didn't know there are so many silent letters. I've never seen that many silent letters in a language. There are so many apostrophes. I don't know what they are called that you put on top of the letters. I remember like I was last in that French class. We did the midterms and I got 25%. The second lowest person had 60%. The teacher literally drew a sad face on top next to my grade there. Then I was like, let me try Spanish. Apparently, Spanish is easy. It's as easy as Swahili. And it was. But I did it for 4 good years. And right now, I cannot do a full sentence in Spanish. I couldn't. I tried to learn Arabic on my own. I looked at Chinese, Italian, Portuguese, everything up. I can't speak another language. I learned three as a kid, which is normal in Kenya, but I couldn't learn anything else. I couldn't learn anymore. What, what achievements am I ever going to achieve? I learned about dictators. I don't know whether I want to be one dictator. It seems like a sad life where you're running away from your opposition all the time. It seems like a sad life, I would say. So I realized, like I thought if I did well in school, like I would have great opportunities to come, which I did, but not as great as I imagined they would be. I got things, but I was always looking higher, looking for more, looking for better opportunities. But I realized there was a cap. There was a limit to how much or how high I could go. There was a limit. No matter how hard I tried, no matter how great my dreams were, I had to accept that a normal life is what I was going to be living for the rest of my life. A mediocre life, if you would like to call it that way. And not a life with the angels, as I imagined. Not the Garden of Eden on earth, like I imagined. Just a normal hard working life, toiling through the door. I remember being very proud that I had never been admitted into a hospital. Yeah, I was very I was very proud of it. And look at me now, been hospital for years, hospitalized for years. I know this is not the regular hospital, but I've been in a mental hospital for months. I've gotten sick. I've gone through a mental change I cannot explain. Like I've experienced schizophrenia. I see things that don't exist. I hear things that don't exist. I don't know where my life is headed. I have thought about ending it all a few times. And I didn't know. I didn't know that was not my voice speaking. I thought it was my voice because it soon went away, and I thought it was part of me. I thought it was meant to end I thought my life was meant to end when I was young. Yeah, that's what I thought. Especially when I was going through tough times. I I thought I didn't think I was going to live long. There's a song which says "If I die young." If you know the song, I think it's by Band Ferry or something like that. I used to sing that song every day, especially when it got to a point when I realized I will never be as successful as I thought I would as a child. I will even be glad to be in the middle class, like very glad. The threat of being homeless became so real when I was homeless for around 1 week. I felt life crash to the bottom. Then I was admitted to Mathare Mental Hospital. That was a place that scares people to just talk about. If you hear someone has been there, you just feel like they have been to hell. Even when I was there, the nurses, there's a head nurse there who said, once you've reached here, this is the end. And I believed him. It looked like the end. It wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. Obviously, people exaggerate things out there, especially people from the village. They make things sound so bad. They weren't as bad. They are civilized people there. They feed you and they take care of you with medicine. They have bedtimes and wake up times. They have dawns and all that to make sure everyone is okay. No fighting, no bringing in drugs and all that. Nice environment to heal and recover. People from all walks of life were there. Even people who had just come from abroad with their mental illnesses had been there. So I felt quite at home and quite protected. But what is my life turning into though? I don't know where I'm headed right now. I'm posting this stuff on YouTube right now. It's an emotional outlet for me. If someone else identifies with it after listening to it, or is just motivated by what I'm going to say, or feel sad because of what I'm going to say, whatever feeling you're going to feel, I have let it out there. It's a big step. It's a big step to decide to put your face and your body on the internet. Because for the longest time, I was incognito. Yeah. Even right now, my social media is still not working. This is the only place where I am. I don't even have a phone to text or WhatsApp or anything like that. Basically, I don't know the way forward. I'm lost. I'm completely lost. This world, I don't understand this world. I looked for truth. Like I went and explored Buddhism. I explored Hinduism. I explored Islam. I read the Torah. I explored the Freemasons, the myth, the mystics, everyone. Yet I feel so lost. I feel so confused. I'm sick. I don't know when I'll be able to work again. I'm having a hard time maintaining friendships. Relationships with my family are down. I really don't know what to expect of 30. It has hit me really hard. That's 30 for me.